Mientras la nueva serie sobre Jeffrey Dahmer se mantiene en lo más alto de la lista de los más vistos de Netflix, surgen incógnitas acerca de qué pasó con las personas detrás de los personajes. Este es el caso de la madre de Jeffrey, Joyce Flint, quien tenía una maestría en consejería y permaneció lejos del ojo público desde el fallecimiento de su hijo en el 94. Joyce, también conocida como Rocky, se casó con Lionel Dahmer en agosto de 1959 y al poco tiempo quedó embarazada, sufriendo de náuseas y de rigidez muscular durante ese periodo. Lionel dijo que Joyce recibió muchas inyecciones debido a su dolor muscular y especuló si eso pudo haber tenido algún efecto en los problemas de comportamiento de Jeffrey. La sentencia de Dahmer se dio en el 92 y la madre de Jeffrey dio una entrevista en el año 93, recordando cómo se enteró de lo que hizo su hijo y su posterior relación con él.
Do you remember where you were when you heard this news about your son?
Well, it wouldn't be very easy to forget. I'd come home about a half an hour early, and one of my friends from Ohio, where the news came on a couple hours earlier, called and had a hard time telling me why they wanted me to watch television. But I found out about it like everyone else. In about a half an hour, he was on television. Jeff was of a compulsion, an obsession. When I went to visit him, I asked him what it had been like during all of these years, and
What did he say to that?
he said I was so scared. I was scared every minute, and I tried to stop, and I couldn't. I don't know how this sounds, but I knew that I'd done a good job as a parent. I knew this had to come from something outside of Jeff. I think there's a lot to be learned, and one of the things that our society does have to be aware of is that we still do have a prejudice. We have a stereotype, and we still do blame mothers.
Joyce Dahmer talks to her son on the phone once a week. He is, she says, but fills his time cleaning the prison gymnasium and writing letters on his new typewriter.
Something needs to be learned from this, and I think Jeff is intelligent enough that if he gets some help, he might be able to help people. I'm not talking about that Jeff will ever be out of prison again. He won't, no matter what he finds out about himself. But I think he has a right as a human being. He's not a monster, he's a human being. And I think he deserves some help.
En 1995, Joyce estuvo en una entrevista con Stone Phillips, en donde discutió la crianza de Jeffrey y la difícil relación que tuvo con Lionel.
What was he like as a young boy before school?
Wonderful. I thought he was wonderful. He was fun. We did all the normal things that people do. It's hard to be asked questions that go back 30-some years when you never expected that anything but good would happen in your family.
Were there ever any early signs of trouble with Jeff?
If there had,
Looking back on it today, were there?
no. What would you look for? If I'd seen something that had been a clue of any kind, I'd like to think that I would have done something about it immediately. No, there wasn't anything unusual about Jeff. He was a normal young boy.
Jeff's first grade teacher referred to him as inordinately shy and profoundly unhappy.
He didn't seem inordinately shy to me. He seemed, he didn't like school. He had a very difficult year that year, first grade, moving from where he'd lived. I was pregnant with his baby brother, so...
Did he seem profoundly unhappy?
No. Well, no. When you say profoundly unhappy, there wasn't any clue that there was anything other than this was a little, rather shy child who had to go to school and mingle and be sociable, and that wasn't his thing. Lionel and I discovered very early on that we were very different people. I was more emotional and more outgoing than he was, and marriage became really a very unhappy place. And how much that affected the children, at the time, I didn't think that it affected them in any really harmful way because they were never physically. Jeff is not the result of what is going on in every home in America. He's not the result of that.
So you're saying it wasn't a perfect marriage, you're saying, but it was nothing so extraordinary that it could explain
No.
why he went on to do what he did.
Absolutely not.
Luego del fallecimiento de Jeffrey, Joyce quería que profesionales médicos examinaran su cerebro para ver si algún factor biológico había jugado algún papel en sus crímenes. Pero su padre Lionel quería que su cerebro fuera incinerado, porque eso es lo que pidió su hijo. En 1995, un juez dictaminó que finalmente sería cremado. Joyce continuó viviendo en la ciudad de Fresno, en California, donde fundó The Living Room, un centro comunitario para personas con VIH, y en el año 2000 falleció debido a un cáncer de mama.